everybody, I'm Mooney, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my process of how I take my Tumblr pictures and how I get them to be this quality. I'm basically gonna go through the process of what I do, and I hope that this is beginner friendly because I am going to try to rapid fire through all of this. And yeah, so have you ever wondered how people got their pictures to look like this? Super high quality. The sun looks so realistic. Graphics look so real life. I don't know. I'm gonna show you guys. So here are the main programs that we're going to be using today. We're going to use other programs as well, but these are the main programs that I use to get my pictures to look really high quality and aesthetic. So firstly, it's going to be SRWE, and secondly, G-Shade, and thirdly, ReLight. Now, ReLight unfortunately is behind a paywall, but there are certain ways you can get access to it. I'm not gonna say how, but there are certain ways. You just have to figure it out. Yes, these are the three programs that we're gonna use. Okay, so once you have all these programs downloaded, obviously you're going to want to open your game. It's going to take a little bit because I have like a million CC files in my game. So once my game is open, I'll be right back. Okay, so after a very extremely painfully long time, once you have the programs downloaded, here we are. Okay, so now I would recommend having your game in windowed mode while you're doing this. During this process, always have your game in windowed mode before you open any of the programs. SRWE specifically, make sure that your game is in windowed mode, because this will make it a lot easier, and it'll also make it a lot more simpler if you have another monitor. I know everybody doesn't have another monitor, but it really does make things a lot easier when you have two monitors, because you can put the program on one screen and then on the other screen you can have your game, and it makes it a lot easier to take the pictures. So you're going to want to pick a G-Shade preset, and you're going to want to pose your sims. Pick a pose that you want to use. I guess I'll show you guys the process of me posing my sims. I'm sure there's easier ways to do it, but this is just the way that I choose to do it. People like to use the teleporting mod. I use Wicked Whims. I like to turn my G-Shade preset off while I'm doing this because I feel like my game runs a little slow while I'm posing my sims. So if I'm not taking any pictures, I'll usually have my preset off. That's what I like about this mod, is that you don't have to use the positioning for Wicked Whims. Really, you can just use this alignment mod, and yeah, I'll still use the Wicked Whims positioning a little bit if they're not exactly where I want them to be. Like specifically, I'll use it. Okay, let's say that they're in the position that I want them to be in exactly now. I'm going to hit Control Shift C, and I'm going to type in headline effects off. And that's going to just make the plumb bob disappear, and it makes the better in my opinion. Some people like having the plumb bobs, but I don't. I like to take my pictures in build mode because I can change the time of day, and I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but this is the way I do it. Change it to, I like how it looks in the afternoon. I like how sunny and bright it looks. So I'm gonna go into cinematic mode, which is tab, and I'm gonna use WASD to move around, and Z and X to zoom in and out, and just find the position that I like for the picture. I'm just gonna I'm gonna say this is a good position, and I'm gonna open up my G shade panel where the global preprocessors definitions are. You're gonna scroll down until you find your ReLight. 1 second. It's usually at the bottom, not all the way at the bottom, but it's gonna be Marty's mod ReLight. Again, I really suggest that you learn how to use these mods, these programs, before you watch this video, because I'm not going to be teaching you guys how to do that. I'm just going to be showing you my process of taking the pictures. Assuming that you know how to use these programs, these little spheres are balls of light, and you can move them up and down to the side, make them bigger and smaller, like move them in and out, and make the penumbra, which makes it softer, harsher, and then the intensity, and then the temperature, which is these top two, but I'm not going to change the temperature because I like where they are right now. Yeah, you just find, like, just figure out where you want the sun to be pointing at them. I usually like to do the top of the head to the side, kind of the top side of the head. And I like for it to be a little dramatic, so sometimes I'll turn the intensity up. And sometimes I'll mess around with the penumbra to soften the light if it looks too harsh. I'm gonna move it closer, actually, like that. That looks good. You can add more spheres if you want more lighting. I'm gonna do this one at the bottom here, like this. And there's also the basic ReLight, which you can use to kind of make it look more sunny, if that makes sense. So without it, with it, it looks more sunny. So I'm gonna leave it activated. Now, you will probably have to mess around with the ReLight again once you're in SRWE. SRWE will most likely freeze your sims while you're doing this, especially depending on what ratio you have it on. So don't get frustrated. It's normal. If you don't have like a super god PC, your game will most likely freeze while you're doing this, but just have patience. It'll come back up. And also, I'm gonna save this position, which is control 5 through 8, I think, just in case I accidentally escape out of this position and I'm not going to be able to find it again. I'm just going to save it. Now we're going to open SRWE. Okay, once SRWE is open, this is how it's going to look. You can drag it to the second monitor if you have one. If not, I actually don't know because I've always had two monitors. Yeah, I don't know how to use this with just one monitor. I'm sure there's probably tutorials out there, but once you open SRWE, you hit select running application at the top, open, and then check the sims. You're gonna remove borders, fake full screen. It's gonna get really big on your screen. It's gonna explode. It's just gonna look like super big and in your face. It's fine, don't freak out. So now we're gonna do 2500 by 2500. This is the width and height that I like to do because it makes it so that my game doesn't freeze as much when I'm taking pictures, because I feel like if I do like a 3000 by 3000, it makes it like so much more harder, like sometimes freeze for multiple minutes, and it's like it's really frustrating. So I just like to do 2500 by 2500, and then you're gonna hit set, and again it's gonna get all big and exploded. It's fine. So I'm gonna move this over to my other monitor now. Okay, so once you have it set, we're going to take our picture now. And I like to make sure that my picture is in the right spot or it looks good. So I'll go to my screenshots and just check and see how it looks. And this is how it looks. It looks all right. Just for a trial run, looks good. We're just gonna use this just for the sake of the tutorial, I guess. And we're gonna go to SRWE, and we're going to hit fake full screen, and it's gonna bring the size back to normal. And you can take some more pictures. You can move the camera around, find another position that you like. This is a nice one. Okay, we're gonna move our spears back around just to find the lighting that we like. Okay, I like this lighting behind her, and that's good. Sometimes you don't really have to do too much, but sometimes you want to make it look realistic, or some people might want to make it look dramatic. I don't know, but this is how I like to do it. So I'm gonna go back to SRWE, hit 2500, type it. You're gonna have to type it in every time. It's fine. You don't have to do the remove borders or fake full screen every single time. You just have to type the numbers back in. Take the picture. Now let's see how it looks. That's how it looks. Looks all right. You're gonna move it around until I get the perfect picture, essentially. Take a bunch. So I'm gonna move it over a little bit like that. That's how it looks. Take the picture, and this is how it looks. Now obviously I take a million of these until I get the perfect position and picture. You guys are gonna have to figure out the positions that you like and the lighting and all that stuff. Just make sure you guys are always hitting fake full screen once you're done taking the pictures, just so that it doesn't slow your process down in your game or make your game freeze. So once you have all the pictures, you're gonna exit out and we're gonna go to Photoshop. Once you have Photoshop open, you're gonna open your picture, and this is our results here of the pictures that we took in game. And on the left here we have actions. I don't 100% know what actions are, but they make your pictures come out looking really high quality. I don't really know how to explain them, but I am gonna link where I got them from, and hopefully you guys can figure it out. I figured this all out by myself as well, and I would suggest asking people in the community. I know sometimes people make it really hard to get help in this community from each other, and sometimes people are really gatekeepy, but I am willing to answer questions and DMs and where can I find. And if you guys have any questions, leave them down below or go to my Tumblr and put in some ask, and I will try my best to answer them and get information from my mutuals in this community that know all of this stuff better than I do. But for now. Right now we have these actions and they're going to essentially sharpen, put texture, you can brighten it, you could smooth it. It just upgrades the quality of the picture. I like to do texture first and then sharp. And then I like to clean it so it flattens the picture. Smooth. And that is how I make my pictures look nice quality, I guess. I need to pull up the before. Okay, so this is the before here. And then this is the after. So side by side. Looks different. There's a clear difference. Looks better quality. Looks more Tumblr aesthetic, if you like to say. And yeah, this is how I do it. Sometimes people in the community like to put templates over their pictures, like moodlets or text messages, stuff like that. I could do a tutorial on that. I'm not the best at doing tutorials. I wouldn't really call this a tutorial, more so like my process on how I make my pictures look good. And I hope that this helps somebody, because it took me a really long time to learn how to do stuff like this in this community, because people were really like not where can I find friendly sometimes. And luckily last year I met some wonderful people in this community that helped me, and I just wanted to make this video because a lot of people recently have been asking me how I take my pictures. And yeah, I'm just hoping that this video kind of sums that up. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'm 100% willing to answer them.